I wanted to ask you, because I was actually on the team, what happened with the CP3 trade getting voided?
I can tell you exactly what happened. So if you remember, we were in a lockout, right? When there's a lockout, there's a moratorium on everything. You can't make trades, you can't do anything. As we were making a deal with the union and then starting to lift the
lockout,
the lockout rules, all the representatives of the teams had to be in New York for Board of Governors meeting to ratify the new CBA. And so as we're in this room, all of a sudden there's kind of this rumor that goes in around the room about a trade. Well, at that time, the team was run by the league, right? So there's no way a trade could be happening if we're all in this room doing league business, except the general manager of the team felt that he had the authority to make a trade.
Of New Orleans at the time?
Right.
Okay.
And so he felt that he could make a trade. And my dad, at that time, his health was declining. And he didn't make the trip to New York. I was representing the team. So I wasn't responsible for trades. So the trade was happening while everybody is in this room. So teams felt like, how is that possible? We didn't get a chance to make a trade for Chris Paul. And so they all attacked the league and said this wasn't fair. We didn't all get a chance to.
But he wasn't going to you guys, so it doesn't matter. But go ahead.
Right.
I understand what they're saying.
Like David Stern didn't reject the trade as commissioner. He rejected the trade as governor of the New Orleans team, right? Because he wasn't asked permission to okay the trade. But the general manager, when they said we're going to have, arm's distance from making basketball decisions because we're the league, felt that he could make that decision without having to have someone
stamp it.
So it wasn't the NBA trying to keep the Lakers from Chris Paul. It was David Stern had a responsibility to make sure that it was a trade that he would approve. So now he just calls off the trade and wants everybody to cool down because now you had a lot of teams thinking there was some funny business going on, but it wasn't. It was just by coincidence how things lined up. So now our front office decided to make a different trade and traded Lamar Odom to Dallas. So now you can't resurrect the trade because you just broke up the pieces that made it. Now everybody was trying to get Chris Paul, and the Clippers offered the best deal.
Yeah, that was crazy because I remember being on the team, and I remember guys that were involved in the initial trade. I mean, I think Powell was talked about. LO ended up going to Dallas, and the trade got vetoed. So it just had a crazy energy in the locker room.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because I remember I was with Kobe talking to Chris, like, oh shit, look out. So basically what you're saying is if the GM of New Orleans would have kind of just took his time, it would have happened.
Yeah.
He's speedballing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it really, I mean, the league isn't against the Lakers sometimes.
Because I never knew that whole story, and that's what I thought. I'm like, dang, how did David Stern void this? Like, he's never done that.
Right.
When it was acting governor of the team that he did it as. Wow.